y'all, this is Marla K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story for you that I want to share. So nobody will be caught off guard. Nobody will think, oh, this was a surprise attack. There are no surprises. There's nothing new under the sun. We just must be prepared because there are many things that are happening that are beyond our control. Control what you can control and just understand what's coming when it comes to the rest of it. So let's get into this story. So the story came out on yesterday. It says Border Patrol agents have stopped thousands of special interest aliens from the Middle East at the southern border since 2021. And that's in a report. So it says there have been thousands of special interest aliens who have been apprehended by Border Patrol agents in the U.S. since 2021. So the story that I showed you about the sleeper cells and so on and so forth, this is why I shared that. Because the war has kicked off, America has committed boots on the ground to the Israel Iran conflict. And so it's finna be popping. Now, again, I ain't taking no sides because we ain't got a dog in the fight. We getting attacked our own self here. So as long as we're in captivity, we have no power, we have no army, we have no weapons. We can't afford to be concerned about anything but our own behinds right about now in our own nation of people here in America. So that's what I'm focused on primarily. So it says Fox News reported that those identified as special interest aliens often come from countries that the U.S. has associated with terrorism in some way, or they present a threat to national security. The data leaked was apparently confirmed by a number of individuals from CBP, which is Customs and Border Patrol, which drew on the number of arrests made between October 2021, and October 2023. So this is current data. Border agents reportedly engaged with 6,386 individuals from Afghanistan at the Mexican border, 3,153 from Egypt at the Mexican border, 659 from Iran, and 538 from Syria at the Mexican border. Now you got to ask, how? How does any of that even happen? The report went on to mention that borders ran into 12,000, border agents ran into 12,624 from Uzbekistan, 30,830 from Turkey, 1,613 from Pakistan, and 164 from Lebanon, 185 from Jordan, 123 from Iraq, and 15,594 from Mauritania. Never even heard of that place, according to Fox News. So, if y'all thinking that ain't nothing gonna happen here in America and there ain't gonna be some red dawn type of thing happening, you must be out your mind. Um, that's why I say you better be ready for whatever's coming and understand that whenever the thing goes down, your local police ain't gonna be protecting you because they gotta protect their own family. Your military is going to be so spread thin if they're able to even do anything, because from my understanding, most everything in this country is already compromised. They just haven't told us, and whenever they get ready to do their thing, their fake Freddies or whatever, just to take over, to begin the destruction, the physical part of the destruction, it will happen. So this is why you have to be prepared. Not right now, not to me, nothing else matters. I think about other things, but I have to keep coming back to I have to stay focused. I have to stay vigilant because there are going to be so many people who don't know what's happening. So you're going to have to be calm to share with them what's going on. There are going to be so many people who are unprepared and need help in the coming days and weeks. You're going to have to be ready to lend a hand to those people. And you're going to have to really be vigilant because we don't know who coming to take us out. We don't know who like us. All we know is we are hated. So our lives don't matter to anybody and to not even to a lot of our own people. What I do think will happen though is once the doo-doo starts popping off here, Negroes gonna come together like they doggone been in basic training for the Marine Corps. They gonna be all what's happening, talking to each other. Their whole attitude gonna change. A lot of black people gonna be humbled, and a lot of black people will want to be a part of groups because they know they won't be able to make it alone. So that is the type of mindset that I have now, um, not only as a watchman or a seer, but also, as a servant when the time comes for us to help our fellow brothers and sisters. And, we need to have spiritual discernment because we're not going to be able to help everybody. I know the Most High wants us to treat our brethren well. But we also must understand we live in Babylon, and a lot of our brothers and sisters is little baby raccoons and mini Babylonians. And so they'll be more of a threat to you than an asset. And they will harm you before they will help you because their minds have not been changed. Their minds and their hearts are still little Babylonians. So you're going to have to, when things get bad, forget that all black people, we're family. At some point, we're gonna start seeing we ain't all family no more. A lot of us are not gonna make it out of here because they have faith in a system and in a country that was set up on a bunch of lies and deception. So when that starts crumbling, they're not gonna be able to comprehend. And they're not gonna be able to comprehend what is coming. They're gonna believe that this stuff could never happen when the people telling you it's going to happen. They've showed it to you in movies. They've, allowed you to learn how to read. You can read it in many of books. It's on the internet. Ain't nobody hiding nothing. It's in public government documents. But people will not read, our people in particular. And so it's very easy to deceive us. And so as far as our people go, a lot of us are going to be lost, um, mentally, and a lot of us will be lost physically because we don't like the truth. Okay, it says the frequency with which individuals from the Middle East have been attempting to get into the US from Mexico has increased over the past few years. NBC reported last month that as of July, there have been 168 migrants who matched those on the terrorist screening data set and were subsequently apprehended by CBP in 2023. This is a dramatic increase from 2022 when there were 100 apprehended for the same reason. So it says Border Patrol estimates 9 million have crossed the border in 2 years. How is it that 9 million people can come across the border? Where are these people? Where they putting them? And how are they being cared for? Like, where are they? I know my son lives in this little small unincorporated part of county, one county over, and he talks about all the time how this Mexican family bought this house next to him, and he was like, they have so many people living in that house. He's like, it's insane. He said they got a bunch of chickens, they have planted trees, they've been doing all sorts of things. And he's like, I know a bunch of those people don't speak English and shouldn't be here. He's like, they just hide out. He said they have service on Sunday and they, cook, prepare big meals. He was like, he said, every time I look, it's more people. He's like, I don't know where they're coming from. And I don't know where they are going, what they're going to be doing because they're not supposed to, be here unless there's something happening that we don't know of. So I just told him, you should keep an eye out, but be careful because you don't know who's working for who, who is on whose team, and because nobody likes us, nobody will hesitate to do anything to a black person when things go awry. We are the lowest on the totem pole or the social hierarchy in this nation. So no man, no woman, no child is above being yeeted, taken advantage of, kidnapped, sacrificed, whatever. Nobody cares anything about us. They know nobody gonna look for us. So, for all intended purposes, once things kick off, it could be the purge for us. We could be the victims of purges. Just don't put nothing past people. But how do you let 9 million people come into your country and think nothing is going to happen over a 2 year period? That's a lot of people in a failing state. Homeland Security says 81,000 of those have they encountered are special interest aliens, meaning they come from areas where terrorism is prevalent. Plus, we have 1.2 million gotaways that we know of on video. As of July, there were a total of 216 people apprehended by Border Patrol who were on the terror watch list, whereas 165 were apprehended in 2022. Now, I'm reading this, but I'm just gonna read. I ain't gonna say nothing. However, the number of individuals attempting to cross the border in 2019 were on the terror watch list reached 280 per NBC. An official with the Department of Homeland Security said that those on the terror watch list crossing the border is consistent with the number of people trying to get into the country from areas of conflict. So if they are on the watch list and they're coming from areas of conflict, they are already in here. What you think they doing? They could have went any place else, but they come here. Why do you think they come here? So they can make Babylon be utterly destroyed in 1 hour? Perhaps. For retribution, likely. To do the work of nations, highly possible. Officials said last month that domestic terrorists will continue to be a threat throughout 2023 and that the number of those radicalized in the will remain high but unchanged. So that's just interesting that they say this. They know that it's going to continue. They know they are not doing anything about it. So that's how they know it's going to continue. And that people are being radicalized. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know what radicalized in their eyes means, but like how and who they're referring to is questionable. However, the worry over terrorism around the world recently increased since Hamas attacks against Israel. Though the attacks took place in the Middle East, there have been many Palestinians throughout Europe who were seen waving their Palestinian flag and cheering on the attacks over the weekend. So, again, that ain't our business. We are not those people over there in Israel. We don't belong to them. They don't claim us. We don't claim them. And we're not Palestinians. So, neither comes to our defense. And I don't really have nothing to say. I don't know nothing. I don't know enough about what's going on with them because we dealing with our own stuff over here. I know what's going on with black people. I can tell you that. I know who our oppressors are here. I know that. I know who is messing with my grandbaby at school. I know what they look like. I know who is pulling over my son in the middle of the night for stupid uh, infractions and locking them up for days with no court date in sight against the uh, Bill of Rights and the Constitution just because of the color of his skin. I know who's doing that. I know who is creating laws to basically keep us at the bottom of the social hierarchy. I know who's doing that. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't live over there. All I know is what propaganda they feed us. And I know they don't like us because they never talk about us. I know they don't like us because they've also mistreated our people when they're in their nations. And we know that they don't like us because the world has just a perpetual hatred for scatter Israel. They know who we are, especially Judah, the house of Jacob. So, you know, again, we're going to be collateral damage because of the places we live, because some of these cities are sacrificial cities and they must go. There's too many people, too many of us. You know, we're always on the list to be yeeted because they need us to survive. But we are some of the most powerful and influential people on the planet. And we have a history of fighting and winning if you go back to the Old Testament. So there's a vested interest in keeping us asleep, and there's a vested interest in keeping us confused and divided. So if you understand that, you don't get caught up in all these different social things that are going on in the country because they're meant to divide. A divided house cannot stand, and that is the goal. So I don't necessarily get caught up in that. I'm more concerned with who's an enemy to my people or who's attempting to harm us, who's the biggest threat here, so that we can work on being protected from those threats. And we have a lot of threats here. We can't afford to worry about nothing overseas. We can't even do nothing. Most of us don't even have no passport. Most of us can't do anything. We're not qualified to serve in any capacity. And if we are qualified, we're not allowed to because they know we are light in their darkness. And we're not going to allow that type of thing to happen because it's just not right. So nobody wants to hear from us until they want to hear from us. And nobody's going to come to our defense, but they want us to come to their defense. We're supposed to be everybody's Superman and be concerned about everything in the world, but nobody comes to our aid. And not unless we just take to the streets and turn up. Um, we're not going to be able to do that anymore because the war is global. As soon as you take to the streets here, they're going to blast you here. They're already ready to do that. They already have the weapons of war right in your towns and states. So when you act up, they're going to fry you from the inside. They're going to do all kinds of stuff. But it's only going to occur after these sleeper cells that ain't really sleeping, and these special uh, immigrants of interest, these special people, have done all the things that they need to do. So everything is orchestrated, y'all. Just that's what we have to understand. We are watching a movie. We're in the movie, but we're also watching the movie because we're blessed with eyes to see, ears to hear, common sense, Um, and we are critical free thinkers. So we're able to see things that other people cannot see. Um, Again, there's nothing new under the sun. What's happening now was planned. They're carrying out their plans, and the final government of this earth is getting ready to come online. But they got to take down the old system so they can bring in the new system. They got to bring in the chaos so they can bring in order. They got to get rid of some of these people because they have an agenda that they need to have a certain number of people they can rule over because they understand they cannot rule over all of us. It's too many of us right now. And if we get lit all over this globe and reject what it is that they're doing, their plans will fail. So you must be prepared to be attacked on all sides from every angle all the time until we are supernaturally rescued or until we are persecuted to our own demise. However it happens, or the remnant of us that are saved and protected and hid out in the mountains or wherever we're hidden, we are rescued. So keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Understand the times that we are living in. The wars have escalated. It's getting ready to get hot. All these nations are getting ready to go fight over this little desert strip of land that they made in 1940 something, I think 1948. That's not even the place of the book. It's not the place that the Most High made for us. That's not where we're going back to. So they know the truth, but a lot of our people do not know the truth. And I pray that the Most High will bless us, continue to awaken us, continue to protect us, and have grace and mercy for our people because there's so much deception. It's really hard. I find myself struggling to navigate it all. It's really difficult. And I just pray that the Most High will continue to put good teachers out here. I pray that we can sift through the noise to find the truth because right now we're continuing to seek truth. And I hope that the truth stays around long enough so that enough of us can find it and be saved by it. But we need to have grace for one another because we've all been deceived, and that's what I keep coming back to. It's very frustrating because just like you came to the understanding, you were touched at some point in time. Other people need that time, and they may not. Some people don't understand troubles coming until they get spanked by it, and so I feel like a lot of people are going to be in that category. But there's still going to be a bunch of us who are not going to wake up. They're not going to be saved because they love this world. They believe in this world. They love the Babylonians. They love the Babylonians' money. They love their foods, just like the Egyptians. The little raccoon Egyptians when we were trying to be led out of Egypt and people were crying in the wilderness about the things that they missed from living in Egypt. It's gonna be this. It's the same way now. People love their video games and they love their clothes. They like their houses and cars and neighborhoods and jobs and fighting for equality and things like that. Diversity and the man female wars, the gender wars, the social and cultural wars. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that has us divided and we're not paying attention. But when these things start happening, when these sleeper cells wake up and start doing stuff, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, and we're gonna be impacted. So, what you should be doing is trying to speed up your prepping, wind down anything that you can wind down, and get ready for something to happen. What that something is, I don't know. When it's going to happen, I don't know. But all the stuff that's happening in the world and all the things that are being allowed to happen in this country, all the laws and the lawlessness upheld by the lawmakers, lets you know that something bad is going to happen. A nation cannot protect its borders is not a nation. A nation that has all these divisions and people who cannot get along cannot stand. Spiritually, an unrepentant nation is going to be judged. So, this land and these people who have ruled and reigned are going to be judged for how they treated us and other nations all over this earth. So, Babylon going to fall. This place is going to go down. But we are going to be the collateral damage because we're the least protected. We have the least wealth. We have the fewest laws on the books, and those laws are being repealed every month. And we still have to deal with this perpetual hatred. Nobody knows why they don't like us, but they just know that they don't like us. They come across the border not liking us. They come into this nation not liking us. They're even in their respective nations and don't like us. And they don't know why, except for somebody told them to not like us. So we have no friends, we have no protections, and we are not safe. All we have is one another. And if our house can't come together, and if our nation, our ancient nation, can't come together, scattered to sustain ourselves during this time, a lot of us are going to perish. So keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Pray for sins of commission and sins of omission daily. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments and keep the Sabbath. Pray for the awakening and pray for the continent, that it be healed, that it be preserved, and pray for our supernatural um, rescue out of this captivity from all the nations, because that's the only way we're going to make it out of this. If we waiting on man, we gone. Y'all know they coming for us. We the people of the book. And if we cry out, it's game over. So they have a vested interest in eating us or making us so fearful that we don't cry out to our Savior. We cry out to them and their gods to save us. And that's problematic. So be ready, people. Be ready. Border Patrol agents have stopped thousands of special interest aliens since 2021. It's 2023 and they're still coming in. So it's a wrap. Just know what happened over there will happen here. It's just a matter of time. The question is, what will you be prepared to do? Did you do anything to add this to your contingency plans? Because it needs to be included, especially depending on where you live. All right, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you will be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey in the event that this channel goes down. They've been pulling a lot of our videos and hiding them. And I noticed the algorithms have also been hiding my content since the last time they pulled something from my channel. So I'm not getting as many views as I used to get. Um, I'm not doing this for views per se, for monetary reasons, because my channel is not monetized. I'm just trying to get the word out to people so that people can prepare and help people not be deceived. So if you could share this content on your social media platforms, that would be great. Also, consider following me on social media. I am on Instagram and Facebook. I do not post there, but I will post there in the event that I am taken down or there's something significant that needs to happen, as far as our preparedness goes. Lastly, if you'd like to support the channel, links are in the description. This is a labor of love. Again, my channel is not monetized. I do not get compensated from anyone or anything that I share on this channel. I share this for awareness purposes, educational purposes, and to help keep watch for my people. That would be the children of Israel, in particular, the house of Jacob, and the Gentiles who cleave unto us, y'all 3 or 5 good Gentiles. It's not many of you. But for those of you who are coming along for the ride, gird your loins because it's getting ready to get rough. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.